it's like absolute agony. Now I can hardly bloody move it. I don't know what the hell I've done, but it's absolutely killing me. So, but apart from that, I'm fine. What's happening with you?
Saw that wanking, Dave.
Do you think so? I know. I'll hate to learn how to do it with my left hand now. That's a nightmare.
Well, they say it's better.
Do they now?
So I've heard. Couldn't play until.
You're right. Sorry, right. You can go back and put that bit in again. Then you'd completely lost me there.
Well, he scored a double, didn't he?
Yeah.
What am I talking about? I'll just say something now. That's fine. I'm talking shit.
It's usually me.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Are You Ready podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek, and with me is my co-host Dave. How are you doing, Dave?
Derek, I am very well. We are back to lacklustre domestic games, spectacular European games, and makes us think that things haven't been changing and then things are changing. But you know, it's that's the life of being a Rangers fan, isn't it?
Yes, we're going to win the Champions League and just scrape top six in the Premiership. So
that's about it. Yeah.
I would take that, Dave. To be honest,
So would I. 100%. There you go.
I bet you there's still fans out there that wouldn't take that as well, though.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but anyway, yes, as Dave alluded to, we've got one game to cover in the Premiership, which wasn't a great result at all, not a great performance, and we've got a really good Champions League Qualifier game as well. So, without further ado, we'll go down the tunnel and onto the park. So, as ever, the transfer window is still open just now. It is open until the end of August, I believe. And in typical fashion, just as we put the last pod out, we did mention it had been rumoured, but nothing had been confirmed. But the very next day, Rangers confirmed we had signed Mikey Moore from Spurs on a season-long loan. Now, he comes with a good reputation by the look of it, and my mum and dad's friend who are from London, and he's a Spurs fan, he says put a bet on us winning the league and him being top scorer, as he is absolutely quality. Granted, my mum and dad have got other friends in London, and they said the exact same about Zach Lovely, so we'll take that with a pinch of salt just now. But yes, all the talk seems that he's going to be something special. There's certainly no obligation to buy. I think they were looking for like £30 million for him or something like that. He's unfortunately not been able to play in the last couple of games, obviously not registered in Europe, and he wasn't registered in time for the Motherwell game, but can't wait to see him play.
Yes, he certainly comes with a great reputation. He's only 17 years old there. He's a really young guy, but because of the sort of injury circumstances that Spurs had last year, he was thrown in. I think he maybe had something like 4 or 5 full games in the Premier League and a lot of substitute appearances as well. So obviously he was good enough to go and play there. I'll reserve judgment till I see him. I'm not trying to cause the north-south divide, Derek, but the vast majority of English football fans think that a one-legged man would be a hit playing in the Scottish Premier League just with how low that they rate our league. So I will reserve judgment, but he does certainly come with a great reputation, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do for us.
And the next one here is we've got 23-year-old Finnish international Oliver Antman has finally signed on a 4-year deal from Go Ahead Eagles. Now, quite a protracted transfer in our standards these days. However, he signed on the dotted line. He's a right winger, and if his debut the very next day is anything to go by, we're in for an exciting time, but we will get into that in the Plzen game.
Exactly, as you're going to get into, Derek, it certainly looks the part, and this early stage looks as if it's going to be a fantastic signing for us, fingers crossed.
Yeah, no IKEA furniture to build as well. Must have been all pre-built stuff.
Yeah, that excuse, eh?
So the one concerning thing though is Still no outgoings. There was a imaged scene of one of the friendlies, I think, and it was the size of the squad. We must have about 30, 35 players on that roster now. It's far too big. I think we've signed 9 or 10 players already this window. Yeah, we need to get players out the door.
There's certainly a lot of players, Derek. I think both you and I could rhyme off 6 or 7 players instantly who we know are not going to have any part of the team going forward, but are still there. And it just shows how much of a nightmare it's been that there doesn't seem to be any interest in these guys. And there's some of them are on huge amounts of wages every week. So, yeah, that is probably one of the main sort of concerning parts about the whole transfer business so far. We need to get rid of some players.
Yep, but with the window still open for another good few weeks yet, well, we'll just need to wait and see. Into the games. First game, Saturday the 2nd of August. It was the opening game of the Premiership. We were away against Motherwell and we drew 1 each. Dave, it starts again, doesn't it?
I know. And again, as you're about to get into, Derek, certainly in the opening spell of the game, we actually played really well and thought, well, maybe we're getting somewhere, but we started going back into old habits, as you're about to get into.
Yep. Another cliched game of two halves where we started the first half fairly well and we were absolutely diabolical in the second half, and obviously a reversal from what we've seen in the friendlies so far, where it's normally been starting the first half bad and then coming into it in the second half.
Yes.
However, we lined up with Butland, Tavernier, Jigger, Suter, Aarons, Rothwell, Raskin, Diamande, Dowell, Kasama and Danilo. On the subs bench we had Kelly, Cortez, Barron, Dessers, Barami, Cameron, Jefty, Fernandez and Curtis. So it was a lively start for Motherwell. However, on the 5th minute, it was a free kick from Tavernier, 25 yards on the left-hand side, up and over the two-man wall, forces the keeper in to pull out a good save and put it out for the corner. 6th minute, we had a corner in and Raskin with a header over the bar. 9th minute, a quick break up the park, nice layoff at the edge of the box for Gassama, who hits a curler on the deck and just wide of the right post. 10th minute, a quick break from Motherwell down the right, a cross into the middle and Jigger with a header right back to Butland. 12th minute, Danilo with a quick snapshot from 15 yards from goal, skims the top of the bar and over. It was good work where he actually chested it down first and then drove it forward. However, we didn't need to wait much longer because on the 14th minute, Tavernier made it 1-0. It was a corner in from the left to the back of the 6-yard box and a towering header into the bottom right corner by Tavernier. A fantastic delivery and Tavernier with the great header as well. So completely different. Somebody else taking a set piece and Tavernier the executioner. Role reversal.
Yeah, I think it was maybe Rothwell with the corner, if I can remember right. Very strange to see Tavernier in the box, as you say, him not taking all of the set pieces. And it was a great leap by him. Let's be honest, he completely lost his man. A great leap and a great header into the back of the net and a brilliant start for us.
Yep. So we've just seen the great of Tavernier, and on the 23rd minute we've seen the worst of Tavernier because he gave the ball away in our half after trying to play it forward. A quick ball to the left side of our box. A shot should have been easily gathered for Butland. He gets his hands to it, he spills it, allows the attacker to have another shot, but he hits it right off Butland and eventually cleared. So really poor from Tavernier and Butland for spilling it there. 31st minute, Tavernier nearly given the ball away in midfield again. However, it was saved due to Dowell charging back. Dowell, of all people, he won the ball, he drove it forward and put in a decent pass to get the ball forward. So really surprising and good play from Dowell there. 40th minute, a quick break from Motherwell, starting on the right side, playing it to the left, and the attacker either has a shot or a cross. It was one of the two, but it went well wide. And that was really it for the first half. So decent first half. A couple of wee concerning points. I don't think we were taking our chances though, and that was the one big feature. We weren't having the many chances, but we weren't taking them when we got them. And Motherwell, you could see that they were hungry. They had a few quick breaks themselves, but you got to be content going into half time.
Yeah, as you said, annoyed that we'd scored that early goal and we didn't go for the jugular at that point and really put the pressure on. Maybe I'm doing Motherwell a disservice, I don't know, but you would expect when you score that early on, we would be really going for it to try and kill the game off in the first half, but it just didn't pan out like that.
So into the second half, no changes. I missed the first couple of minutes because I was doing the dishes at the time. 50... A man's work's
Modern man, Derek,
yes.
I love it. Modern man.
A man's work's never done these days. 51st minute, Motherwell with a free kick on the left, whipped into the back post. The Motherwell player heads it over the bar from close range. It was quite dangerous, that there. 55th minute, Motherwell down the left with a couple of quick passes on the left side of the box, cuts inside, beats Jigger, has a shot, a great dive and save by Butland, however could only palm it into the middle of the box, right into the path of the Motherwell attacker again, who was about to shoot. However, a great last ditch tackle by Suter, and we managed to get the ball away. So as much as Butland's been solid so far, there has been a couple of occasions from what we've seen in both the European games and obviously this domestic game and friendlies where he has spilled the ball right into the path of an attacker, so he needs to watch that one there. At that point, I've put in my notes, we've really not started this half at all. It's really been all Motherwell. 62nd minute, a tame effort from us on the left side of the box. 62nd minute as well, Danilo and Diamande off, Dessers and Cameron on. 69th minute, a corner from the left, right to the back post, knocked into the centre, cleared, and Cameron with a shot outside the box, through the defence, but right at the Motherwell keeper and gathered easily. 70th minute, Motherwell with a cross from the left side of the box, headed over the bar at close range. 73rd minute, Rothwell and Raskin off, Barron and Barami on. 78th minute, Dessers and Barron holding the ball up at the left side of the Motherwell box. Dessers lays it off to Barron, who balloons it over the bar. 79th minute, Motherwell with a quick break up the park. We were caught short. Motherwell drift to the right side of the box. There was a cross, but Jigger blocks it. Motherwell recycle the ball and have a shot, but miss hit it, and it trundles wide. Really dangerous break, that one there. 82nd minute, Motherwell with a shot from 20 yards, but drags it well wide. At this point, it was really all Motherwell. We were not getting a look in at all. 82nd minute as well, Gassama off and Cortez on. And disaster on the 87th minute, Motherwell drew level. It really, for me, it all stemmed from Dessers. He had a chance up front. He thought he was fouled, so instead of tracking the man, instead of going with the ball and looking where the play was, he just turned around to the referee and held his hands up. In the meantime, the player who should have been tracking got the ball. He played it up the park. The ball went to the left side. The attacker jinks through our defence on the left side. He cuts inside. He has a shot which was blocked, but only back out to his own player, who floats it in. It was chested by one of their other attackers, and the original attacker who started the move shoots it into the net. Just diabolical defending. Tavernier at fault again. Dessers should have done it better, and it was one of these goals where there was several points of failure. You can't highlight one person there. It was several points of failure. We had plenty of opportunity to get the ball away, but you'd seen it coming. And you've seen it from last year as well. We've got a habit not playing till 95 minutes, do we?
No, I know. And as you say, it was a systematic failure for quite a few of the players. I mean, again, we're talking about Dessers again, who I believe is by far our best striking option. But how many times in the past have we seen that he would rather go and complain to the referee after being fouled rather than keep him up with the play? So really disappointing for him to have done that. And then, as you say, the defending was diabolical. But it was coming. It was coming, as you say, for the last 25 minutes, even half an hour. It was just all Motherwell. We didn't seem to be able to stop them play. We didn't seem to be able to keep a hold of the ball. We were getting caught in possession constantly, and we were just inviting them on. And it just looked as if it was going to be inevitable. And as the time was ticking on, we were all praying and hoping that we could hang on against Motherwell. So really, really not good enough. And it didn't surprise me when they got their equaliser.
No. 89th minute, a chance for us, but it was blocked at the last minute, which would have been a certain goal. And in 94th minute, a big chance for Motherwell to take the lead with a quick break, ending in another big save from Butland. And that's how the game ended up. So, boos from our fans apparently in the stadium. And the more telling thing though was the post-match comments by Martin, where he really had a go at the players, and justified as well. You know, he had a go at a couple of players specifically, never named them, but I think you could surmise who he was talking about egos and the fact that they put their heads down and they just play for themselves rather than playing for the team. And I think we all know who they were talking about anyway, certainly with the substitutions they made. And I think every Rangers fan agreed with the sentiment there. And we've seen it time and time again. The same players are letting the different managers down time and time again. And nobody's really called them out in it. Now, certainly Barry Ferguson and Billy Dodds have called out the players' attitudes and mentalities after they've left, obviously. This is the first time a sitting manager's done it. A lot of pundits didn't agree with Martin's way of going about things there. But it's his team to do, and I think it was quite clear that this needed to be said, because it hadn't been said in public before, and he was either going to get a reaction or the players were going to fall back into their shell. We'll get into that in a second, but we did get a reaction.
Yeah, we certainly did.
Ultimately, Dave, I don't think we've won our opening league game for the last 3 seasons, so we've not won the league in the last 3 seasons either, so I think that's a telling thing, isn't it?
I know, and I really hope it's not history repeating itself again, just, as I say, getting back into old habits, as you've just said there. So very disappointing, not what we were all hoping for. And then you're about to get into going into the next game, which is going to be a huge match for us. The vast majority of us weren't very confident that we were going to get a performance out of the players.
No. So that game we're talking about was last night, Tuesday the 5th of August. It was an emphatic 3-0 win at home against Viktoria Plzen in the Champions League Qualifier, Round 3, Leg 1. What a performance, Dave.
What a performance. What a turnaround. The manager, hats off to him. It looks as if what he did before, criticising certain players, we were wondering if he was going to make wholesale changes, as you're about to get into with the team selection. He did. And what a reaction he got.
Yeah, and I kind of did think that, well, he's called out certain players. Is he going to stick with the same team or similar team to allow them a chance to redeem themselves? But no, he was bold, and I think somebody in the press conference actually said it was rather ballsy, which it was, because we lined up Butland, Aarons, Jigga, Suter, Jefty, Rothwell, Diamandi, Cameron, Antman, Gassama and Dessers. So the notable absentees, and they were on the bench, Tavernier, Dowell, Raskin and Danilo, all mainstays in his team so far. Obviously the captain as well, and they were all dropped to the bench. So the other players on the bench was Kelly, Cortez, Barron, Barami, Fernandez, Rice, Gentles and Curtis. So a fantastic team.
It was, Derek, and it now shows us all. It shows everyone, actually, not just us as Rangers fans, but fans of other teams, that since we have had this investment, the money coming in, we now have the squad that we are capable of dropping players who seemed undroppable before, just because of circumstances, because we didn't have players that were quite at the level that they were. We can now do that. It sends a strong message to those players as well, especially with this performance that you're about to get into, that we can play like this. We don't necessarily need you to play for us to get to a level of performance like we did last night. And I was a bit concerned at first when I heard these comments, but fully justified, and I'm glad that he did do that now, because it was, as you're about to get into, it was an excellent performance start to finish.
Yep. I mean, of note, Suter as the captain. I think the only other player you probably could have gave it to was Butland, but you know, Suter was in there. Aarons finally playing on the right hand side. Drop Tavernier and you play the player in his natural position, which was good. And the big thing, as I said earlier, Antman only in the door less than 24 hours and he's straight into the team. And what a performance he gave us.
Yeah, fantastic. And who would have thought it, Derek? A right-sided winger playing on the right, a left-sided winger playing on the left, a right back playing on the right-hand side of defence, and a left back playing on the left side of defence. The team actually played well. Quite incredible.
Yes. So getting into the game, first minute it was a nonchalant volley towards our goal by Plzen, but it went wide. Second minute, a ball down the left with nice link-up play between Jefty and Gassama, ending in Gassama getting to the touchline. The ball on the deck to the near post, but gathered by the keeper. Fourth minute, a weak shot deflected on target by Plzen, and it was safely gathered by Butland. 7th minute, a cross from the right by Plzen with a header wide. 10th minute, knocking the ball about well, looking for space. Lovely through ball on the right by Aarons to Antman, who has a lovely cross into the middle. Gassama nearly got there, but the defender got away just in time.
The thing about that, Derek, that was the first glimpse that we got in the sheer pace that this guy had, because I don't know about you, I instantly thought that ball was out for a by kick. But the speed that he put on, especially at the end, just to get in there, I thought to myself, we now have a proper winger that's going to create a lot of chances here, because he burst past that defender and just before the ball went in, put in the most perfect cross into the box. And it's things like that, it's these early signs that we've got ourselves a player, and that was outstanding. That.
Yep. But we didn't need to wait long after that, because on the 15th minute, Gassama made it 1-0 to us. Gassama was on the left side, he cuts into the box, gets between the players, passes to Dessers, who holds it up, a lovely forward pass to the on-running Gassama, who takes a touch and shoots it into the right side of the net. Outstanding goal.
From start to finish, the ball up, the incredible hold-up play by Cyril Dessers there, waited, a great flick to Gassama, who kept going, the vision, and a tremendous finish at close range. It was a bit of a packed box. Still had the goalkeeper to beat, a man that's high on confidence, and 3 goals in 4 games for us. Absolutely outstanding.
On the 19th minute, it was a big block in the box from a shot from Plzen. 21st minute, the ball was cleared off the Plzen line after Cameron plays a long ball down the left to Gassama, who picks it up at the touchline, takes it in, a long cross on the deck to Ant-Man, who shoots, and it was cleared off the line by the defender. Really, really unlucky that there, and some good play.
Yeah, great play again.
31st minute, a really bizarre moment here, because Raskin, who was a sub, was given a yellow card as he was warming up at the touchline. The ball went out next to him. Pilsen player got it. Raskin had kind of reached for the ball as he was getting it, and he was given a yellow card. Apparently the official line was that he was given a card for dissent. However, the commentators seemed to think it could have been for holding the ball up, but he never. So a really bizarre moment that there.
Really bizarre, yes, totally.
Yep. However, on the 43rd minute, those 3 words you love to hear: penalty to Rangers. Ant-Man does fantastic deep in our half, picking up a loose ball. It drives the ball forward and gets it to Gassama, who drives it further forward and plays a lovely through ball to Ant-Man, who had kept on running. He gets into the box, he was about to pull the trigger, and a slight nudge, it was enough to put him off, and the referee gives the penalty. VAR was checked and the penalty was given. It was a wee bit soft, but he was put off taking the shot, so I'll take it every day.
Yeah, because he was definitely going to get a shot on target there, Derek. But again, incredible play, winger to winger. The two of them for their first game linking up so well. Absolutely incredible. I thought that he was going to score it, because the move was so good. But as you say, he was nudged off the ball. There wasn't much in it, but it was enough to stop him from getting the shot away. It was all checked. Penalty to us.
Up steps Dessers on the 45th minute. Cool as you like. A cool penalty slotted to the left on the deck, sending the keeper the wrong way and making it 2-0. That's Dessers in the game, getting a goal and an assist so far. Brilliant.
Excellent. His hold-up play the whole of the first half, Derek, was brilliant. His awareness, he wasn't going all out for himself. I think he knew that he had 2 guys alongside him that had all the pace and the trickery of the world, that he could get the ball to them, which is probably, he's not really had a lot of that since he's been here at Rangers, but certainly you could see how confident he looked and, stepped up again. Supreme confidence, fired the penalty in, and an absolutely brilliant position to be in just before half-time.
Yes. So, into the second half, no dishes were done in the half-time this time. There was no changes at half-time either. On the 49th minute, ball on the left, the pass across to the edge of the box to Diamando, who switches feet and hits a lovely curler, which hit off the bar and back out. Really unlucky, that one there.
Yeah.
However, 2 minutes later, we wrapped up the game and we made it 3-0 with none other than Gassama scoring for his 4th goal of the season already. A lovely long ball from Aarons down the right side to the on-running Ant-Man. The burst of pace gets past his man, picks up the ball, an absolute stunning cross to the back post, and Gassama heads it in. What another goal, Dave.
Tremendous. Again, winger to winger. That through ball by Aarons, tremendous. Absolutely fantastic. But you just knew as soon as Ant-Man picked up the ball, he's running down. The first thing he is doing is looking over to see who's coming in. He just knew exactly that Gassama was going to be in. You can't get much more of an inch perfect crossover as well, Derek. At pace, this guy looks absolutely sensational to me. He's constantly looking to play people in. He's not out to try and score the goals himself. He's playing like an old-fashioned winger, getting the ball in, and it was just a fantastic cross in and a great header by Gassama. As I say, winger to winger, tremendous stuff. 3-0, game over. I
listened to his wee video interview on RTV when he signed, and that's what he said. He was known for scoring goals and setting other people up, so certainly he's shown that already in the first game.
Yeah, definitely. The chemistry already is quite incredible. You don't usually get a player getting off the mark like that and having chemistry with the rest of the players, but he certainly did, and that's just the mark of a quality player, Derek.
Yep. So the game, certainly from our point of view, kind of died a death after that. It's kind of natural. You're 3-0 up. You're wanting to maybe protect yourself for a long season ahead. 54th minute, there was a weak effort by Plzen and right at Butland and a comfortable save. 61st minute, a great cross from Cameron on the right to Dessers at the back post, and he had a header over the bar. 64th minute, Rothwell off, Raskin on. 70th minute, great defending by Dessers there. Something Kenny Miller used to do, get right back in defending. Dessers has maybe picked up a touch of the Kenny Millers in that respect. 71st minute, a shot from distance by Plzen went over the bar. 73rd minute, Dessers, Cameron and Aarons off, Danilo, Barron and Tav on. 83rd minute, long shot with power from Plzen, palmed over the bar by Butland. 84th minute, Tav in the middle, near the box, stabs it to the left side for Gassama, who shoots and it was comfortably gathered by their keeper. 85th minute, Ant-Man came off to a standing ovation, Curtis came on. 90th minute, to wrap up the game, there was a free kick from Plzen from 25 yards, but it went over the bar. So absolutely delighted with that. We've pretty much got 1 foot in the playoffs now, don't you think?
It was a great performance, Derek. It's a fantastic scoreline. I was delighted that when it got to 2 that we really went for it to get that third goal and we got it. And as you say, it puts us in a fantastic position, barring an absolute disaster over in the Czech Republic. It's given us, as you say, 1 foot in that sort of final qualifying match. Just really good to see, great to see certain players putting on a performance. As I say, even seeing Lyle Cameron last night, Derek, he had a fantastic game. He was all over the place. I don't think he put a foot wrong, considering he was in for Raskin, who is probably the player that we think is our top player, or certainly the one that we would look to for leadership, for him to step in and play like he did as well, playing Russell Martin's system superbly. It was a great night for him also, but I don't really think anybody had a poor game. Even Jeff Day, who I've been highly critical of, even although he didn't do anything spectacular, I think he just seemed to be more comfortable playing in that position, you know, his natural position. So when the ball was coming to him, he didn't have to do anything spectacular. He was able just to be an outlet, get the ball played forward as quickly as possible and support Gassama up front as well. So, it was just excellent from start to finish by all the players.
Yeah, I think everybody's came out away with, wow, that was a great performance from Cameron as well. A couple of slack balls in the first half from Aarons, maybe just getting used to that being in his right position, but certainly came onto a game. So, yeah, got to be delighted with that.
Yes, definitely.
So, the games we've got coming up, Saturday the 9th of August, we're at home against Dundee in the Premiership. That's a 17:45 kick-off. Bit of a bogey team last year as well, I think, and they're for piss and vinegar because of the whole pitch issues last year, and in particular because it was us. And I think Lyle Cameron's kind of fueled the fire as well with some of his comments saying that coming to Rangers and doing things, it's like we're being in a full-time team now, and they're all up in arms because they try to say that Dundee are not a full-time team. No, we're just saying that yous are shite and you're a wee team, basically. That's what he's saying. Yes, so that'll be an interesting one there. I'm pretty sure he'll be booed and kicked off the park. Next game, Tuesday the 12th of August, that's the away leg of the Plzen game, the Champions League Qualifier, Round 3, Leg 2. I think that's a 1600 kickoff. Then we've got Saturday the 16th of August, that's at home against Alloa, that's in the League Cup last 16. I think that's a dodgy time again. I think that was another 17:45 kickoff or 5:30 kickoff. I'm not going to be doing a post-match for that one because I'm away out, so I'll be watching that in the pub. And then what we hope, we did say last week, obviously it's either the 19th or the 20th of August, that's the Champions League Qualifier playoff. We now know that that's going to be either against FC Salzburg or Club Bruges. So I think we've got a very, very favourable draw. Obviously, if we still we beat Plzen, because it could have been Nice or Benfica. So I think we've got a very favourable draw, didn't we?
I'm saving my judgment again, Derek. I'm not going to count my chickens. As you say, on paper, out of the two ties, that looks to be the more favourable one. It's still going to be an incredibly difficult game. I've actually just watched the first leg, which is just finished there, and it finished Salzburg 0, Club Brugge 1. Now, I watched the first half, Derek, and I wasn't too impressed with either team. They were more sort of feeling each other out. There wasn't a lot of chances created. It wasn't much of a spectacle, but certainly in the second half, Club Brugge came out all guns blazing for the first sort of 25 minutes of the second half. They got their goal, but then they sort of sat back, and it was all Salzburg after that, and they looked exceptionally dangerous also. So it's going to be a difficult match, but as you say, on paper, it certainly looks like the tie that you would want compared to the Nice-Benfica match, which I think would be an incredibly difficult game. But only time will tell. As long as we're there playing them, you know our team can do just about anything in Europe on these nights. So bring it on. That's all I can say.
Yep. The next game after that is Sunday, the 24th of August. That's away against St Mirren in the Premiership. That's a 12 o'clock kickoff. It was meant to be on the Saturday at 3 p.m. However, it was changed for TV. However, we have already confirmed that should we progress to the playoffs, we will exercise the option to postpone this game, which is the new SPFL rule that was put in place for this season, or should I say it was put in place for Celtic.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. Then we've got the next playoff leg. That's either the 26th or 27th of August. And then we've got the last game to round out August, Sunday, the 31st of August. That's at home against Celtic in the Premiership. So, lots of games to play for.
Lots of games to play. A lot of people talking about this postponed game, Derek, that if Celtic win all their games in the lead up to that, they could potentially be 5 points clear of us when we go to play them. And a disaster, they could potentially be 8 points clear of us if they win that game. But I think the club have done the sensible thing here now. The fact that we've got that 3-0 lead, us getting into the group stages in the Champions League financially is absolutely incredible. So we need to try and do everything we can for them to get there. So in my opinion, definitely the sensible thing to do if it is going to help us progress.
Yes. So we'll now go into the news. Not a lot of stories to talk about because we only done the last podcast like 6 days ago. So first thing I've got here, we did mention in the last podcast as being rumoured, however, a few days later that we confirmed that Leanne Crichton is now the women's first team head coach. It's her first head coach role, however, she has been an assistant at Glasgow City and obviously a BBC pundit. Now, there's a strange thing happening with Celtic fans just now, and you know, I say that loosely because there's always strange things happening with them, but they seem to think we've got a love-in with the BBC and they're linking Crichton's appointment to her being a BBC pundit. I mean, have they not been paying attention to our relationship with the BBC over the past 10, 15 years? Just a bizarre way to link things.
Yeah, you've only got to listen to the commentators every time we play and we're on the BBC. And as you say, we didn't have any of our managers or players speaking to the BBC up until not long ago because of the problems that we had with them. So, yeah, they've got very short memories. But who's to stop them for having a complaint and having a conspiracy theory about us, Derek?
Yes. Next thing, our partner club, Bengaluru FC, have suspended players and staff salaries as the whole league is up in the air just now. There appears to be some sort of issue with the company that operate the league, so it's unclear if their season will actually go ahead or not. So it could have implications with our link up with them. Not that it's really evident anyway, because are we getting any benefit from having this link up? I don't know. Do we send out, staff and players to train them up, or do we get anything back from it? I really don't know, Dave. Do you?
I don't know anything that would help us with regards to financial fair play and things like that. That's what I was thinking, because the vast majority of the bigger clubs have got link-ups with teams, and it would maybe show the club in a more favourable way, or show that the club's got larger aspirations by having a link-up to other clubs and things like that. I don't know if that has got anything to do with it, but I would like to think that having that, there would be the opportunity, as you say, for coaches or even players to go and possibly play and train with different clubs, get their progression into the first team, but we haven't seen any evidence of it at all, have we?
No, I mean, I just thought at the time when the deal was signed, I thought, well, that's unusual. It's not known for bringing through great players, but that's probably because it's an untapped resource, and I thought we could have utilised that a wee bit better. I mean, how many Indian players do you know, Dave? Not many, I can imagine. So
it's either that, Derek, or it's the fact that the actual Indian market for the commercial side, for us to be able to say that we're linked. I don't know if they were looking more at the commercial side of things with India, with the size of the population and the growing popularity of football. They maybe thought they could possibly tap into that market, but again, there's been no evidence of anything like that.
No. Talking of link-up clubs, Wraith Rovers have polled around 1,500 of their fans, got 1,000 responses in relation to a proposed cooperation agreement with us. 85% of them voted in favour. Other clubs have apparently got similar, and the agreement will be to be things like loan players to and from them. So let's see how that goes. I mean, certainly there was previously bad blood with the Wraith Rovers owner. I don't know if he's even still there. I'm guessing not, now that we're kind of looking at this. This was rumoured a few weeks ago, so it's interesting to see where this goes now. And I think on the back of that, Wraith Rovers did say that they will take the next steps for it. So
excellent, yeah,
interesting one, that one there.
Definitely.
And the last piece of news I've got here is Tony Bloom, the new Hearts shareholder or major shareholder, has been in the media bumping his gums and claiming that Hearts can win the title within 10 years. He also stated that he doesn't think Brendan will be too worried about Hearts, but hopes other teams will be, and he thinks that they've got a very, very good chance of getting second this season. That's after finishing 7th last season. So I'm not sure where that confidence comes from. Obviously, with this being his first time he's spoken to the media about things, he's clearly playing to the gallery about that. He has to say something big, bold and all that. He's got visions and all that. You don't pump £10 million into a Scottish team without hoping you're going to get something out of it like that. And quite clearly, if we're not going to win the league, I would much rather it be Hearts than Celtic. But surely, in terms of this season especially, he's just written Russell Martin's team talk when we play them.
Exactly. No, as the guy previously, he'd done the same. His company have put money into Union SG in Belgium, and they managed to win the league for the first time, I think, in about 80 years or something like that. So, I mean, he's got history doing it in Belgium. He's done very well at Brighton. But Scottish football is a completely different ball game. I work, as I've told you before, with quite a few Hearts fans. They are all buoyant at the fact that he said this. That's all I was hearing about when I was at my work, especially after the Motherwell game. But last night, they were all a good bit quieter after seeing what we'd done in Europe last night. So, as you say, it's great when we play them. Russell Martin will not have to say much, and it's excellent. That's the type of thing that we heard that they used to happen in the dressing room, where the headlines would be pinned to the wall so the players would see them before they went out. So, if that works for us, then thank you very much, Mr. Bloom.
For every 10 million you put in, our investors will put in 20 million. To coin an infamous phrase.
Yes, yep.
So, it's now time for Fessel Corner. Used to drive coaches full of backpackers across Europe, there's some sort of kudos about drivers, so even an ugly fucker like me got a shag regularly. Met my now ex-wife on one, who thought she had put a stop to it all, until I accidentally shagged her cousin when she had joined my bus. I'm telling people that I'm on a diet because I have a big reunion coming up and don't want to look fat. Partially true, but the main reason is that I was starting to have difficulty wiping my own arse.
Oh, Derek, maybe I'm starting to relate to that myself.
Too much information, Dave.
Oh, dearie dear.
I go out with my dogs for their last piss before bed to stop them barking. Often I have to piss on the lawn with them. Last night, one of my dogs rolled in it. I'm not sure what it means, but I'm assuming I'm confirmed as his leader. I got my car windows tinted so I could pick my nose and eat it without other drivers seeing.
Absolutely brilliant.
And the last one for tonight. I'm an Englishman in a relationship with a Northern Irish lady. Recently, my 10-year-old stepson asked us what a prostitute was. We decided to be honest and tell him straight. It's people who sell themselves for sex. He was horrified. He meant Protestant.
Okay. Don't know where we'll go with that one. Oh dear.
So on that note, we will end the podcast. So, thankfully we got the result last night, which has made it a more of a cheerful one, but we really, really need to get cracking in the domestic scene now. Celtic left it very late as well. I mean, I think as much as they were fully on top, they struggled and they got pretty much a last-minute winner as well. So, they've got their own problems to worry about just now. They're all not great shakes. A lot of their fans are not happy with the fact that they've not signed really many players in positions that they need, and they're actually looking quite jealous about us, the signings we've made. So, you know, if we can get our act together domestically and stop being afraid of all these wee diddy teams, then we'll be able to kick on and be successful.
We certainly will, and only time will tell if any of the players dropped are brought back in, and if it's maybe going to give them a kick up the backside that they were maybe deserving. But we certainly have a lot of players to choose from, players still to come back who are injured, new signings like the young lad for Tottenham that can come in also. So things are looking positive, Derek. We just have to hope that that continues on domestically as well as in Europe.
Yes, so all that's left to say is thanks for listening and goodbye.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself.